Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning, Jeff. All right, you guys. Hopefully you guys saw my announcement I put on Instagram. That is where I always am going to be announcing anything in terms of like timing of stream and pretty much everything. That's like my main spot. So make sure you guys are following me there if you are not. Same exact username at Jen Ketter. Anyway, I'm officially shifting my stream to later in the morning for the next at least 4 weeks until I have this baby and I take a little bit of a break from streaming, most likely. I will be... Sorry, I'm just trying to look at the chart and look at what time it is. Okay, so we have like 8 minutes till the IB is set. Until that point, I will be streaming starting at somewhere between 10:15 and 10:30 Eastern. It'll honestly depend on the morning. And part of that is because I really am trying to shift my focus to trading the initial balance. And so it's to remove the temptation to trade earlier when I'm trying to make that shift for when the baby comes. But it also is because my sweet firstborn son starts kindergarten tomorrow, and he has to be at school at 8 a.m. my time, which is 10 a.m. Eastern. And I will not be the one taking him to school. My husband will, along with also my daughter. But I need to be able to help in the morning with my family, getting, you know, everyone packed and out the door a little earlier than we're used to. So that'll allow me to do that and do this. And I'm actually really excited about it. I've spent a lot of time over the weekend back testing. And I am actually very, very excited about what's to come with this. But let's get to it. So we have, holy cow, the market has been dumping overnight. We pushed down a total of 530 points from the highs of the overnight session, which is a lot. I would definitely say I'm leaning more short bias on the high time frames. If we do a quick zoom out, we look at the daily, this makes total sense, right? We tried multiple times to push up from here, kept pushing down, had this big strong bar to the downside, had a consolidation bar on Friday, and today we are pushing down in a 3-bar continuation pattern to the downside. So it's not really that surprising. We closed this big daily gap. And so now essentially the question is, do we continue lower? My guess would be yes. But the question is also when, right? Because we are quite extended to the downside, I would say. So that's the daily. Let's zoom out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning, Emma. Morning, Stefan. I think I said the good morning to Jeff, but double good morning to you. And I'm just flipping through the higher time frames really quick. I just sat down. So I'm just trying to see if there's any like really big support areas, resistance areas, etc. that I want to be aware of. Yeah, kindergarten is, I am getting very emotional about it, which I'm, fun fact, a very unemotional person, I would say. Not unemotional, but like, I don't cry a lot. I'm pretty, I don't know. I just am not typically over emotional about things, but I've been very emotional about everything, which I think in part is just like pregnancy. You know what I mean? We do have a nice hourly. Where is price right now? Oh, we're way down there. We broke through that. Yeah, nothing crazy. Okay. So our initial balance will be set in about 3 minutes. Personally, because we have already broken below and closed below pre-market low, that was a lot of lows, I would love to, honestly, the trade that I really like right now, just based off of the price action and how we're kind of consolidating down here, is a pullback to this midline of IB / pre-market low. That range between 90 and 115, and potentially a short from that area. That is one thing I am thinking about. There's not really a level that I am looking at right now in terms of a sweep for an IB failure back up. Like, for example, if we were at the top, I would be interested in seeing us sweep this pre-market high in the previous day point of control and then fail back into the IB and go for shorts. There's no key levels that I have currently down below us. So if we do break out to the downside and out of this consolidation, we're kind of trying to sort of flag. I don't know, we kind of put in a double bottom on the 5 minute, I suppose. I do think that we could potentially also get a strong break out of the bottom and actually do a break and retest continuation trade from this. We just are very extended from the time we open 241 to 940, so 300 points down. I would love to see a little bit more of a pullback personally before trying the shorts. What did I find in my back testing? So I just did manual back testing on TradingView with the replay mode because I wanted to be able to use this indicator, which if you guys don't have it, this is a free indicator. It's by Joey Morgan. It's in TradingView. If you just click on indicators, holy cow, I cannot speak right now. Calm down, Jen. If you type in indicators, IB first hour, that is this indicator. I'm going to delete these arrows because you guys know I don't like having these on my screen. I need some jams also. The other thing I wanted to, I'll get back to the, what we were just talking about, the back testing in 1 second. But the other thing that I wanted to kind of put feelers out and ask you guys about is, would you guys rather see my chart that I'm charting on, or would you rather see my executions? I don't execute through TradingView, so I cannot share. If I share my other screen, like this screen, if I share that screen with you guys, it doesn't show any of my levels. So do you like being able to see the levels and have me explain and show you what I'm seeing? Or would you rather be able to see my actual trade executions? Because the thing is that it's so delayed anyway, which, by the way, disclaimer, don't copy me. This stream is delayed. This isn't financial advice. All of those things are in the description. But what's your guys' preference? Both? How am I supposed to show you both? That would be, what's up, Hill? I just feel like I wouldn't be able to fit both on the screen in a way that looks good. Maybe I could like somehow put it in the corner, like, I don't know. Okay, so we have our initial balance set. I am watching this area up here, potentially for shorts. I'm watching that area for shorts. Never fall in love, baby, just in case. So refreshing to trade with someone who isn't full of cursing. Yay, I'm glad. I won't lie, I do actually curse sometimes. It's something I'm actually really working on because my 6-year-old said the F word at baseball over the summer, and he had never said it before. And then my 3-year-old said it, and it's not something that comes out of our mouths very often. That's a whole nother, I'm not going to get into my beliefs around cursing generally. We do have some volume coming in on this buying candle. Anyway, I am working on it though, because obviously it's like really not becoming for like a 6-year-old to be cussing. And I try really hard not to, so does my husband, but you know, sometimes you like, for example, you're holding your 3-year-old in your lap and she decides to whip her head backwards into your nose. Like sometimes something that shouldn't come out comes out. And when it does, those little ears hear it and they hold on to it. Okay, Emma, let's see levels. I have no idea what the actual delay is. IB indicator is called IB first hour. We are getting a lot of buying pressure. It does not deter me from this short. I want to watch and see what happens. Oops. I still do. We never really got a good retest of the pre-market low on any of the time frames. It looks like I guess we did on the 5, sort of. We got a close and then a retest. Tricky area. I'm going to be watching for the reaction though. You always enjoyed when kids would let one slip. The thing is that like I couldn't even be mad because it's like literally I was like, where did you learn that? And he literally pointed at me and my husband and I was like, fair, valid. You did. This is my thing about words. I will say it while we wait to see if price comes up. So just to be clear, guys, from a VPA perspective, really quickly before I say my feelings about cursing and stuff, we are pushing up on increasing volume. It is still significantly lower than any of the selling volume we've gotten so far. So I'm not completely convinced that like longs are coming in from here. Structurally, we're very weak. I'm going to watch this area as we push into it, and I'll let you guys know if I take something. But my feeling about words is, personally, in my life, I have been the most hurt by words that actually weren't bad words or like cuss words, but more so words that were used to tear down. And so in parenting specifically, like the most important thing to me with my kids is to teach them to build people up with their words. So like if my kid is, encouraging his friend and he's, a teenager and he says, F yeah, you crushed that. Like that doesn't really bother me if I'm being honest. He's encouraging someone. He's just using words to like emphasize. I know it's frowned upon by most, especially in like Christian circles, which I am in. But I think that the damage that comes from words is not innate, like in the word itself. It is with how the word is used. So that's what I care personally most about. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything. Exactly. And there's ways that you can express all of those types of things without that. I want to see what's happening on S&P. Anyway, so ES is actually looking, I would say, much more bullish than NQ. It like basically swept a low and got bought back up. And it has closed above its EMAs, above the midline of its IB. What am I looking for confirmations? I'm watching reactions. So you can't see it, but I have the 2-minute up. And I am watching how price reacts on the lower time frames as we push into my levels. I'm watching volume. I'm trying to see if sellers are going to step in. ES is breaking structure to the upside and pushing back up into its previous day low. It's about 4 points from that. So we could start to reject here early. We're right at that midline. We haven't quite gotten to the pre-market low, but I do like how we're rejecting here. Why is it making that noise again? Oh, is that a text message? That was weird. We're right at that EMA on the 15. 94. I am tempted to try it here. I do like how we're kind of stalling out. Still watching. Kind of just a consolidation candle there. So nothing crazy. Kind of wanted to actually push into that pre-market low. Personally, I prefer more of, that's why I didn't have music on before, because my speaker's dying and it keeps making this ear shattering, splitting sound. Personally, I like to see a push into, like, through and then fail more than what we're seeing now, which is like we tapped it and we kind of slowed down, but we're still, I need a little bit more confirmation. I need to see a little bit more weakness. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Please, if you guys don't mind, like the stream, subscribe to the stream. That helps me a lot. I've not taken anything yet. I'm still watching. What I would like to see is the push into this pre-market low. We're also at that 29,100 whole psych level. We did hold 29,000. That's kind of right where we chopped around and reclaimed. So we could want to recover from that 29,000. So I'm going to actually mark that out so I can see it. I'm going to be especially aware of that. We will make it this turquoise color. So this is the area that I am watching. This is probably around the 0.6 actually also, I would guess. Close to it. 0.5, right at the 0.5. So I do like the reaction that we're getting right here. Kind of stalling. How much time on this candle? 3 minutes. I want to wait. I'm going to wait to see what happens with this 5-minute candle, I think, before I take anything. I don't mind waiting for a little extra confirmation and getting a later entry. I'm personally okay with that. Especially because we did reclaim that 29. But I will let you guys know if I try anything. My stops will be determined on how and where this candle closes. I will probably put my stop a little wider with the way I've been trading initial balance, mostly paper trading it. I've been allowing for a little bit wider stops and keeping smaller position size. Ooh, I really like that reaction. Off that 187. Don't go without me, please. Oh man, come on. I might have just missed the opportunity, to be honest with you. But like I said, I'm okay missing it and waiting for a little bit more confirmation. We did get a nice engulfing candle on the 2. We're getting a really nice rejection on ES. But what I'm trying to determine is, are we struggling? And we're gonna still pop through this because we tried to fail below and reclaim and couldn't, this 29,000. Or are we actually going to see more downside? And I'm willing to wait a little bit. So I do like that candle. There's part of me that wants to see, call me crazy, one more pop up and attempt up and then start to fail to really love the idea of this trade. Watching it very carefully. The tricky thing about taking some of these, like an IB mid retracement, is that it could also be a reversal, right? So I'm okay with really being picky about my entry, waiting for true confirmation, even if I don't get as good of an entry as I would have wanted. Still watching. I'll trade it within. It's very new to me, but so it's not like I've taken tons and tons of trades, but I like the pullback after a really strong move like this. The pullback to the midline for a failure is something that I really like to look for more downside, even if it's just back to this like 25% mark here. But I have not tried anything yet. Still waiting, still being patient. We did have a pretty strong 15-minute candle close. Little bump in volume. Not a very weak looking candle. We could want to push all the way up to this VWAP area and then start to fail. And we still didn't actually test the pre-market low. So the more ideal, I'm moving that to the side because I'm not in anything yet. I'll let you guys know. For me, the more ideal scenario is that we actually like push through this level all the way and potentially test VWAP and then fail. And then maybe target like this 25% or this 29,000 or low of day. Just gonna be patient and wait for something super, super, super clear. Because ES is actually holding its IB mid. It did push up through VWAP, almost into PDL, and start to fail. How's everybody doing in the chat? Have you guys all been trading since market open? Did you all wait to get on as well? From a lower time frame volume standpoint, there is a lot more, I would say, buying volume than selling volume on like the 1 and the 2 minute as well. I would want to see that flip. I'd want to see something print that's like very clearly a rejection. This looks like a rejection candle because it has a long wick on the top, but more of the volume in that candle actually was buying volume. So give me that wick through this area and start to fail. Nice low volume buying candle, which I like to see. I need to stop moving the chart around so much. I'm sorry, it's a bad habit. Are you guys awake? Let me know you're alive in the chat, guys. We closed above the IB mid on the 5 minute. Did we close? And no, we didn't close above it on the 15. I really, 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 really would love if NQ would freaking go touch pre-market low. Just get with it on that for me, but starting to fill back below. I like that. See how this candle reacts. Alive? Alive? Okay, good. Being patient, good. Awake and focused, alive and thriving. 30, flirty and thriving. Anybody? I know some of you will know that reference. Yeah, I actually really like this area up here. I just want us to just a little further. Because what I don't want to do is enter early, have us pull back into the EMAs. Oops, wrong one. I don't want to enter early and have us pull back into these EMAs and find support and then go for another leg up. We did get a nice engulfing on the 2-minute to the downside. And we're struggling here at this level, so could be it. Killed your account? No. I'm also 34, Megan. 92, baby? I think I'm 34, right? Yeah. Pretty sure. Pretty sure I'm 34. You know you're getting old when you can't really remember how old you are anymore. Emma's 32? Let's go! W's in the chat for the 92 babies. Just kidding. I feel so silly when I say W's in the chat. I just feel like it's just not me. It's not my kind of verbiage, vocabulary. Okay, so maybe we're going to start seeing some selling come in here. We're seeing a nice pullback on ES to its midline. I'd love to see ES start to break through its midline and fail below it potentially. We have yet to have a candle on the 5-minute in this whole push up break the low of the previous candle. So if this candle starts to break the low of this candle, you could take that as a signal to get in. You could. I'm still watching. I want to see a little bit more of a confirmation. I just don't love how slow going price action is at the moment. 94. How old are you, Judy? You don't have to tell me if you don't want. You can just say you're 34 with us. My son thinks I'm 29 forever. My husband told him that and I just kind of went with it. Every time I have a birthday, he's like, how old are you turning? Dad's like, 29 again. All right, low volume, red candle, nothing really to write home about still. ES is holding that midline and holding its EMAs. On the lower time frames, it kind of looks like we're bull flagging, to be honest, like on the 2. The bottom wicks. Yeah, I mean, we're clearly indecisive, which is not what I want to see. So like if we pulled up the 2-minute, it kind of looks like we're consolidating, getting ready to push higher. We could be stalling, ready to flip down, but usually on this type of a pullback, I like to see sellers immediately step in, less consolidation. So at this point, I actually would rather see price go up a little further and then start to fail. We could totally go from here, but it's not something I really want to get into because of this, right? We're holding this 2980 area. So we just got to be patient. ES looks like it wants to try for a push up again, so NQ could follow. Hypothetically, you could actually take a long here, potentially. EMAs look like they're trying to do a little flipperooski on 5, potentially. But I personally still like the idea of pushing a little higher, like into here-ish, then failing and still taking shorts. I would not personally really want to long in this area. The better long opportunity was on the hold of 29,000 back here. Once we broke back above that and closed above the 8 and held structure, you could have potentially longed targeting this area up here that we're at. All right, I like how this is starting to fail now. Watching the low time frames, watching the wicks and the reactions, because this is still the area we've been bouncing in. You just had your 4th baby. Congratulations. You're old enough to be my mom, Judy. Love that. My mom's awesome. I'm sure you're awesome too. I honestly have always gravitated towards hanging out with older people. For a long time, most of my friends were, like in my 20s, I hung out with most people were in their 30s that I hung out with. So I am liking how this is looking. It would be very risky to enter right here, similar to what Ashley said. The EMAs are right there. I do like the volume that's trying to come in right now. However, it's a small bodied candle, so it's kind of like an anomaly versus a confirmation. We could just pop up. And look at that, we're trying to pop up again. But if we flip up and start to fail, I almost just entered and I didn't. I hesitated. But I do like the selling pressure that's coming in right here. I'm watching the 1 minute. I want to see how this 1 minute candle closes. There's a lot of nice selling pressure coming in right here. Closed right at that area. Trying to break down. ES is trying to fail back below its midline. We're just still right at this support area that we've bounced at multiple times on the lower time frame. So that's kind of what's holding me back. If we would have pushed up and swept the pre-market low and then started to fail, I would have been in this a lot quicker and more aggressively. I just don't want to get in it prematurely. I'm watching though. What's the 2 minute looking like? Nice strong close below that area on the 2 minute. Still watching. I haven't entered anything yet, guys. Like I said, I will let you know if I do. Nothing for me yet. For Asia, there's multiple. You can do Globex, you can do Tokyo. I've been more focused on Tokyo, which is 8 to 9 p.m. Oh, I like that wick and flip on the 2 minute. Still watching here, guys. I just don't want to get caught in a fake down move. So I'm not entering yet. A minute on this 5. I'm tempted to wait for this 5 minute candle to close, and that could mean it goes without us. Actually, I just got in. I liked that start to push down right there. So I am in the short right now, and we could totally reverse. I want to see 29,020s. Come on, flush. Flush. We have VWAP right below us on the RTH, which could end up being an issue. But I like the selling volume that's starting to come in here. And the way we're failing below the EMAs. I'm in a relatively small position, so I may add in if we close this candle below the EMAs and pull back into the EMAs. My entry is not very good, to be honest with you. It's 62. So there we go. There's some downside. I'm still getting used to trading this. I do like that close. I am still getting used to trading this strategy. And so you'll have to like be nice downside. There we go. I want to flush this whole imbalance down to this 20 area to start would be ideal. But I'd love to see us honestly go all the way back down to the lows at 9-4. What is that? 6. Actually, you know what? I like 29,000 for a target. I'm really liking the selling pressure that we're seeing here. I'm only 16 points in profit. So, but ES is failing really nicely back below its pre-market low and broke the little trend. And so far this morning, relatively speaking, NQ has been weaker, it has seemed. So I would love to see NQ really just start to get some momentum down at this point. Flush. The The EMAs look like they're trying to flip back down on the 2-minute, which would be awesome. Really nice selling pressure so far. I don't want to see us catch a bid right here. I want to see us flush through. And we are trying to pull back. We're right in the middle of that gap and kind of hitting this trend line-ish area. But no crazy buying pressure, I would say, so far on that. You're catching a little bit of a bid, but nothing I'm super concerned about. Want to see us flush. I also need to pee so bad. I like literally can't even explain it. There we go. I like that downside. I like how we're flushing on the 1-minute right now. That's what I want to see. Got to go break the low now and really start to fall. Hoping to see a little bit stronger selling come in on this 5-minute candle, which we still could. I'm not super surprised that we're kind of struggling here. We could want to catch support here. If I see signs of us like aggressively trying to flip up, I might exit this. My hard stop is up above the highs in case we get some crazy candle, but we are pulling back into this higher volume buying candle. So we could find support here and try and push up. And if we do, we could be in trouble. I want to see more downside. I'm going to try to trust this. My hard stop is all the way up here. But I will exit the trade early if we start to find strength up above here, up above these EMAs. I do not like the way this 5-minute candle is looking right now, actually, at all. Still watching, we could still reject. This is where we found resistance before. Honestly, I don't mind that candle. We just need to start to flush now. Go break the lows. There we go. There we go. Push down, give us some momentum to the downside. If we flip here at these lows, I will not like this trade as much anymore. But if we can go break the lows with some momentum, I will be happier. And yes is trying again to go push down and break the low of its previous candle. So if we can all start moving down together, that would be ideal. Just gotta try and trust the trade here. All right, sellers. It's your time to shine, baby. Bye, Ashley. Sorry, I missed that. Missed it. don't love how much we're struggling right here. I really want us to go flush and break these lows, but I am going to continue to trust this trade right now. None of the candles that were trying to push us up from this area were like super aggressive buying candles. So I still do not mind this trade. Just trying to be patient and not micromanage it, you know? The 30 looks pretty good to try to go lower, I feel like, especially on S&P actually. Now we have S&P trying to push down more. I'm still in this right now, guys. Trying to trust. Buyers are really trying to step in here. Got some volume coming in, which I do not love. But I am going to, like I said, try to trust this. I'm trying out a new strategy. I want to see us reject here. I really like that rejection, actually. That is exactly what I would have wanted to see. So I'm still in this trade, and that's why I gave myself a bit of a wider stop, is these trades have a really high win rate if you actually give them a little bit of room to breathe. So that flip on the 5-minute is exactly what I would have wanted to see here if we did pull back. We went from a green candle, we're back to being a red candle. And now I want to see us just aggressively flush. That's the next step, is we gotta really start to move. Sellers gotta get some cojones and push us down. Push! One thing I'm really trying to shift, you guys, is like, historically, I've really micromanaged my trades. And in some ways it works out for me. In some ways I look back at and I'm like, I should have let that go. But knowing that I have a baby on the way, I'm not going to be capable of micromanaging my trades like I have. How did that 15-minute candle just close? Another inside bar. But it did close below the EMA, so that's good. Anyway, I need to be able to not like micromanage things as much, ideally. So, with that being said, one thing I'm really trying to do is find ways to be more hands-off so that I can take a trade, take it on my phone, things like that, and not stress so much about managing my trade, have my hard stops in, have my profit target in, and just let the trade play out. That's part of the shift that I'm trying to make. So I really didn't get a very good entry, like I said, on this. I still do like it for lower, but we have to really start to go now and stop holding this area. because we're kind of, this is like the structure retest area on the 5-minute. So if we continue to hold here, ES is breaking structure to the downside, which is great, and closed below a bunch of wicks that it had. But we got to actually have sellers really step in to see this do what it needs to do. You guys think I can run to the bathroom really quick? Still trying to trust this and let it play out, my friends. It is very hard. Want to see it flip here, please. I think if we can get through this area, we really will see some aggressive downside. We're just struggling. Okay, I'm gonna run to the bathroom super quick. I have my hard stop set. Hopefully it dumps while I'm gone. How you doing, Bubba? You good? Oh my gosh. Literally just chopping around right here. Which is like worst case scenario. Honestly, I hate when that happens. Come on. The buying that's trying to pull us up is still really not like aggressive. So like I'm trying to use that to reassure me to stay in this. We just really need to break these lows right here. Come on. Now's your time, NQ. Flush down, please. All the way to the downside. Flush, 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 flush. You can do it. You can do it. All the way down. Please don't wake up again. Oh my gosh. I don't like that wick at all, actually. Come on, flush. Go, break the lows. There we go. Come on. Fall. Oh, there we go. Now we got a flush. If we bounce here, we're in trouble. We gotta flush. Keep flushing. All the way down, please. Do not bounce, NQ. Y'all. I may end up exiting this at break even if this flips us up. I'm just looking for another trade. Yep, I'm getting out of this. My stop's at break even. It's about to hit. Oh my gosh. It literally came within, it looked like it hit my stop. That was crazy. If it flushes from here, that would be wild. I don't like that wick up we just had on the 1 minute. That is bad news, bears. Bad news, bears. I would rather wait for another trade opportunity than let that explode to the upside on me. And I'm out. Technically lost $2. Technically, I lost $2. This is what did it for me. Oh, you can't see that. This. Like, what is that? What is that? Not what I want to see. So I'll wait. Break even. You could say, well, you should have trimmed or something on this push down, but no. And this is why I just got out. You see how we're now like explosively trying to move to the upside? Because we tried and tried to push down lower and failed. If I would have just gotten in up here, that would have been cool, I guess. But I didn't love that because we were so close to this area and those levels, and then we just never touched them. So that was such a long trade. When did we get into that? A lot of buying pressure coming in. How's everybody doing? Hello, NQ Trader Soma. Wow, I'm glad I got out of that. Glad I managed that trade how I did. Could still push up into this area and reject again. However, I don't want to eat a stop I don't need to. Let's see how much. My entry was 62 on that. It honestly was a really terrible entry. 62. I had hard stops right here, but I would have exited if we closed above the EMAs again on the 5 minute. So technically I would have, if I did have a stop, I would exit here. 20 points. It was in 22 points of profit at the highest point. Not really worth it. This could be where we now reject and put in a lower high, potentially, but just don't love it.
Gotta hit it. Yeah.
How's everybody doing in the chat? Who's red? Who's green? Who is flat? Did anyone take a break even with me on that? Red, green, small green day, flat, green. You want to sweep the highs on the next hourly of this inside bar to look for the next leg down. Yeah, I mean, I still like shorts more than longs. I have always wanted to go push and sweep this area right here, which would align exactly with what you're saying. The other thing is I actually wouldn't mind if we tried to push all the way back up to previous day low and opening print. And holy cow, what is that? Very glad I got out of that. Goodness gracious. Is there news?
Not that I've seen anything yet, at least like that happened last minute.
I'm not seeing anything on financial juice. So this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the sweep of this area and then the fail. So maybe we get that now. But that was an aggressive move. So I want to also confirm that that wasn't news driven. Pushing right into that VWAP, trying to fail this area potentially. Okay, US eyes 7.5%. China. Sorry, I'm not speaking into the microphone. US eyes 7.5% China overcapacity tariffs before XI Trump talks. Would that have been it? Is that bullish? I don't even know. Sometimes news comes out and I'm like, what? What time is it? 8:30? Oh wait, no. 9:30. Who's glad? If anyone else took a short with me, I'm very glad I got out. Because that would have smoked me. That probably would have slipped me at least 10 points. It was a very strong candle. All right. Stefan opened a Tradeify 50K growth account this morning and $600 away from passing. Let's go. You should definitely just wait till tomorrow to pass it. You don't have to, do you? Not financial advice, but I will say that sometimes when you try and force stuff, it's not ideal. So we're now chopping around that 0.6 of the range, VWAP, and pre-market low. We had that little pump that I really do think was, I mean, that's red folder news. I just don't know what it means. I just have the regular session VWAP, so I believe it starts on the open of the session, right?
I see green, green, flat, red, green, light green, heavy green, break even, orange, flat, green, green.
What do you guys think? Should we stay on a little longer? Hang out?
Yeah, Bradley, I got you.
Hold on, I need to shut my door. My kid is being so loud. It's like very, very distracting.
Oh, man.
Okay.
That long. Green and locked out. Love to see it. Green, green. Wow, chat. Is everyone green? Literally everybody? Is that the vibe, chat? Are you all just more like the more in love with the chat? Because I am 100% convinced it's our chat account. You guys are just on fire. You guys are making our green all the time. It's crazy work. Crazy work. Doing good. Where's my?
All right, guys. What's it gonna do? Are we going up? Are we going down? Are we just chopping the end of the day?
Blown account. It happens. It absolutely happens.
Faith in shorts is gone. Totally get a major failure. My levels indicator. So I have two. I have Grizzology, which let me just do this and then we can see what does what. So this is just a fib, and then I drew this level. But so I have the IB indicator, IB first hour. So if I show that, that's what gives me this range, gives me a range, and then I have it set up to give me a 50%, a 25%, and a 75% mark. And then also, excuse me, also extension marks to the highs and the lows. Then I have this Grizzology. And this you can do a million things with. It literally like has all of these different, you can have Asia stuff, you can have pivots, you can have fair value gaps, you can have support, or not support and resistance, supply and demand, EMAs, does it all. I only have the levels that you can see.
To be honest, like I feel like it's just one of those things where I got out of the market. I got what I wanted out of the market. I'm up, the green on the day is relatively small compared to most of my green days, but we're up. Green. I'm happy.
This is where I would want to see us start to reject if we are going to see more downside in the near term. If not, I think we will end up pushing up to the highs.
Maybe going up and seeing the block. So see what happens up there. Maybe get some evals that we can take some trades on and go from there.
I'll probably just use the 25 and 75 as targets. However, when I was back testing over the weekend, there were certain circumstances where those levels would align with another key level. For example, like a pre-market low, previous day low, something like that. And in those scenarios, I would potentially use them as for an entry.
Possibly go short from here. I don't really like the shorts until we get above VWAP. Above VWAP, then I would say okay, maybe then. But Jaden, John, yeah, I saw your comment earlier. I the back
Yeah, I will say Grisology is awesome. It has a million features. It is paid though. So you have to pay for it to use it. I think it's like, I'll be totally transparent, I don't pay for it, but I think it's like, Emma might know because you have it, right? Is it $30 a month, $15 a month, something like that? It's nothing crazy. Trying to see. All right, guys, we're kind of just in a holding pattern, so should we do a giveaway? Oh, it's 70 a month, Emma? Wow, that's actually more than I thought. Definitely worth it though, especially like if you're someone who wants to use more of the features. If you're only going to use it for what I have on the screen, I don't think it's worth $70 personally. If you're only using it for like pre-market low, pre-market high, previous day low, previous day high, opening print, then I don't know. What kind of giveaway should we do? Wow, we're really pushing up here, guys. So now at this point, I would love to see us actually get all the way up here and fail.
So we have a feeling that she is going very tired.
130, 39, 30.
She likes falls music, but
Ba, 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 da, da. 2-bar longs. I don't do the 2-bar. I do not do the 2-bar, but I don't know if this would count because we're pushing up on lowering volume. If we pulled back into this candle, I think perhaps that would have been considered a 2-bar by Jacob, but I don't know. I never actually like properly learned the 2-bar, so I could have it wrong. Yeah, that's what I was thinking is like right now we're pushing up on lowering volume, which is good for my thought process of potentially trying to short up here. I actually am also very interested to see how we react at this level here. Um,
That will not. No, we're trying to get like routine here. My wife's gonna get her up sooner. Like this time where she doesn't go later. My wife's gonna
but we just gotta wait. Gotta wait. Be patient.
like start getting up, but I think like we're gonna be able to push.
All right, guys, should we do a giveaway? Where are we at on likes?
She's gonna have a hard time.
Where are we at on likes? 44. Give me the 60. 60 likes and I'll do the giveaway.
She's a big social bug. Uncle Jay, appreciate that.
Maybe we do recover from here though, because on the higher time frame, I mean it doesn't not make sense with us sweeping and reclaiming that 29,000. All right, guys. Yeah, like if we look at, we zoom out and look at like the daily, it doesn't totally like, doesn't not make sense that we would potentially push up and recover from here. I wonder if I fib this out where almost didn't quite make it to the 0.5 of this leg up. But we did pull back into a pretty key area with that 29,000. So it's kind of like we could go either way. Wow. A lot of volume coming in, pushing us up. Increasing volume on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. Oh my gosh, hold on. There's someone outside of my window. Give me just a second, guys. Are the tree guys supposed to be here today? Whoops. I meant to mute. My bad. My bad. My bad. Hold up. Oh. Sorry. We have a ton of treatments that have to be done to our trees because we have all these massive pine trees, and we had one die, and a couple of them have beetles that are not dead yet. So sorry. They're here to treat our trees, but they weren't supposed to be here today. They're supposed to come tomorrow. So I don't know if I should go outside and talk to them or just let them do their thing. Probably just gonna let them do their thing. It's very unsettling when I look out my window and see somebody. Because people have to, you can't just come to my house. Like, you can't just come in our neighborhood. Like, someone has to put you on the list. So it's very weird when people show up.
We'll do normal giveaways here on Monday.
All right. All right, we might get something here, guys. So we're getting a pretty aggressive rejection actually in this area. If we pull back, oh, I forgot to turn my EMAs back on. Did I take the failed ONL auction? What is ONL? Overnight low? Are you talking about like reclaiming the pre-market low? I didn't take that. I haven't taken, the only thing I took was I tried to take this pullback to midline. I was targeting a lot lower and I got stopped at break even. That is all I've taken so far. S&P is heavily rejecting its opening print right now. Nearly got to the top of its IB. I mean, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 green candles in a row. 7 up close candles on the 5-minute in a row. This is the first real wick or reaction we've gotten. Hitting that. We're hitting the 20 EMA on RTH. We're hitting the 30-minute 8 EMA.
I think we get the IBI, Jeff. I think we do. I think NASDAQ is going to work its way up here. I do.
What's wrong with my tree? So I have ponderosa pine trees. I have like a lot of them. I live on pretty big lot, like a little over half an acre. And we get these beetles. And so one of the trees in my backyard is completely dead now. It has had beetles, I think, since we moved in like 4 years ago. It's had little holes all over it, which is like a sign from the birds, but it's a sign that there's like insects living in it and whatnot. So anyway, we have beetles, and so we have to pay to have that tree removed, and then we're paying to have all the trees treated, which we do anyway. But some of the trees are so close to the house that we're having them do like an injection treatment. And then some of the trees also already have something, I think it's called borers, where you can see that beetles have been in it, but they're still alive. So we're doing some things, I don't know. You'd have to ask my husband, with like kelp treatments that the tree place recommended that will help minimize any other beetles coming in. It did? Okay. What do you need?
Nothing else to watch.
Do you need to go potty?
Yeah.
Yeah, go potty first. Yeah, the beetles, so bad. Yeah, it's really they're supposed to be super bad this year too because of the drought, just because of how hot it's been and like how little moisture. So anyway, hopefully we don't lose all of our trees because that would be literally devastating. ES is retracing yesterday's low. Yes, a retesting. Yes. Might see a pullback here. Yeah, so what I like, guys, and I don't know how long I'm going to stay on here. I still want to do a giveaway. Let's see if we got to our like goal. Where are we at? Nope, didn't make it. Got to get me to 60 likes if you guys want to do the giveaway. Anyway, what I would like to see at this point, we are pushing up, but it's a slow grind pushing up on low volume. We have some pretty significant levels sitting right above us. So I would love to see us push up, break out, and ideally sweep pre-market high, maybe even an aggressive push all the way to like POC. And then an aggressive fail back in. And then I'd target the midline potentially at that point. But I would want to see us go, for me to like the shorts, I would want to see us go at least actually test PDL. You know what's crazy is I actually looked at what you're looking to take IB. You can also use the same failed auction on universal levels. Oh, can you hear me now? Okay, yeah, it's working. Yeah, that would just be like a failure, right? Is it called a failed auction still? Okay. The other thing, if we don't, yeah, baby. Yeah, I can. Just give me a second, okay? I'll come out there in like 2 minutes to help you, but that doesn't look like it's quite tight enough. Jump up and down. Let go. And jump up and down. No, they're still loose. So you need to undo it and make sure they're pulled up all the way where they need to be. So make sure your shorts are where they need to be first. There you go. And then, yep, perfect. And then make sure it's nice and tight. Remember, get that black thing in first and then string it through. Sorry guys. My son is learning to use a belt because that is part of his school uniform, and so we're working on getting the belt on. Okay, so what I was gonna say is the other thing is that if we don't actually make it up here to previous day low at a minimum before we pull back, I would not mind a pullback long potentially off of this like 100 to 116. So like the midline up to pre-market low. Since we reclaimed that, as long as we don't have like crazy volume come in that starts to push us down, that makes me think we're gonna like truly fail all the way back down to the lows. Oh, how tall are my trees? My trees are, I don't know, they're tall, significantly taller than my house, probably like 75, 100 feet. I don't know. Very tall. I just paid to get them trimmed, and the first two quotes I got were both over $13,000 to get my trees trimmed. That is not what we ended up paying. I got a better price than that, but that tells you like how many and how big they are. They're like full on hundreds and hundreds of years old, massive ponderosa pine trees. So fun stuff. I'm watching this pullback here, guys.
Mom.
Yes.
I can't do.
Come here. Okay, so remember what we talked about. You gotta pull this tight and then take this and push it through. There you go. See, now it's hooked. Now you string it through those areas. Okay? Just takes practice. You're gonna get it. Don't worry. I actually paid $7,500, JV. So the price I ended up paying is better than your offer. Yes.
Can you change my stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Guys, I'll be right back. Hopefully this doesn't drop down to the area I'm watching without me, but I will be right back. Where's the remote? What do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? I don't have time to do. How about Sonic 2? Choose. How about this Jurassic World?
Yeah. Why is my
Okay, there's the button. You know how to press play. I'm back. Oh no, it's bouncing. So it bounced that 8 EMA on the 5-minute. I would guess from here, after that bounce, it might just go up. We can see if we get a little bit deeper of a pullback. Whoa, that was really loud. You're just kidding, JV? 2 more likes for giveaways? Let's see. One more. One more. What's up, Lizard Trader? One more like. So we did get a failed. We did push out of the IB on S&P on ES, sorry, and are failing back down.
It goes so far with kids, it really does. Like they start me off things that they.
So there's that.
Like his account's gonna compound for 28 years before he gets it. You know what I mean? 28 years just compounding account. I can imagine how much it's gonna be.
You got the final like? Nice. All right. How are we gonna do the giveaway? How are we gonna do the giveaway? I'm gonna do a giveaway and then I'm probably gonna hop off and go hang out with my kid after the giveaway. So let's see. Trying to think of a good way to do it. I need to figure out how to do the bot thing. All right. What's up, Empires FX? Oh, T-Bones. Let's go. What's up, dude? It's been forever. How are you? You came just in time for the giveaway. All right. Okay, hold on. All right. I think this is definitely going up to the highs on NQ. S&P is now breaking out, or ES is now breaking out. I still like the idea of the sweep of the highs. If it happens in the next few minutes, I will hang out and wait for it. Dance battle. Whoever makes the best cake. Yes, everyone make a cake. Mail it to me. And I will do a live YouTube like Cake Boss or whatever it's called, something like that. Should we do a math challenge, like a contract math challenge? That would be interesting, right? Okay, are you guys ready? You're gonna need like a pen and paper. Why was my session disconnected? Because I've been sitting here stagnant for so long doing nothing. Okay, get ready, guys. Get ready. I will say if we do get the pullback to this midline area, I will potentially look for the long targeting the highs. Maybe. Okay, you guys ready? Here comes the math equation. It's based on trading and trading contracts. Okay. Should I type it out? I'll type it out. Only I could spell. This is going to be fun, guys. Oh, my caps lock is on. I'm like, what is going on? Okay, it has to be two things because I ran out of room. All right. You're trading in Q. You enter 3 contracts long at 23,450. You trim 1 contract at 20 points, 1 contract at 35 points, and your final contract gets stopped at break even. Earlier in the day, you took a 12-point loss. What is your total P&L? Do not include commissions and fees. Jeez, Lizard Trader with the win. Oh no, wait, hold on. I'm on top chat. Let me make sure. Let me make sure it's not different in live chat. Nope, Lizard Trader with the win. And you are not first on mine, Trade Passion M1K. $86, Haley. You're off by a few hundred, but... Or you're off by like 10x. It's 860. It's 860. It's 860. It's 860. Yeah, it's 860. Lizard Trader. 1. You guys can use AI? Did you use AI, Lizard Trader? Be honest. I have no technology to do an AI check. Did you use AI? I hope you didn't. It's frowned upon. Calculator. Trade Passion. You might have top chat on, and that might cause you to see your name first. I have live chat on, and obviously I just have to go based off of what mine says. You threw it in chat, GPT? Okay. Should we do one more? Or should we leave it at 1? I think I'm going to leave it at 1, mostly just because I want to get off stream. I'm over this price action. The 2 things I will consider taking if I see it are this pullback to this area to push up higher, or if we do push and sweep these areas and can fail back in. Those are 2 things I'm interested in. Obviously, if we start to really push and break above these areas up here with strength and volume, we could come back and retest and continue higher. So obviously, lots of different scenarios. I don't really like the price action. It's very slow and very boring. We could get something later. I think that there's some news coming out later, right? Isn't there something being announced later? I know later this week there is, but anyway, I appreciate you all. Lizard, shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll get you the account that you won. Hope you guys all have a good day. Trade safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.